1st of March 2018. In our first story, Rwanda closes 700 unsafe, noisy churches. About 700 churches have been closed down in Rwanda for failure to comply with building regulations and for noisy pollution. Most of them are small Pentecostal churches. One mosque was also closed down. A government official told the BBC that some of the more than 700 buildings shut down have already reopened after they were approved by inspectors. According to new regulations, all preachers must have had a technological training before opening a church. Pentecostal churches, often run by charismatic preachers claiming to be able to perform miracles, have grown rapidly in many parts of Africa in recent years. Dad poisons child to please his wife. A dad poisoned his baby girl born to his mistress because his wife was upset he had fathered the child with another woman. Jeffrey Thomas, 23, is accused of giving the 4-month-old antifreeze mixed with formula while feeding her last month, leaving the infant extremely ill. When the child's illness worsened, he and his wife took her to a hospital close to their home in Burnett, Minnesota. But the poison had left her in a critical condition, and she was airlifted to the Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. The test showed the little girl had ingested ethylene glycol, which is most commonly found in antifreeze and de-icer. In our third story, we know that because of the snow that is being in the UK National Grid has issued a warning to the UK that they will not be able to have enough gas to meet demand by Thursday, as temperatures plummeted and imports were hit by outages. It is thought unlikely that the situation will affect supply to 1,000 homes. But if enough extra gas supplies by pipeline or ship are not forthcoming, it could affect industrial users as well. Within the day, wholesale gas price soared 74% to 200p per therm after the formal deficit warning, which acts as a call to suppliers to bring forward more gas by Thursday. Prices have since fallen back to 170p. In our fourth story, major U.S. restrict gun sales. Two major U.S. retailers have announced new restrictions on gun sales following the shooting at the Florida school where 17 people died. Dick's Sporting Goods, which has more than 600 shops, said it will no longer sell assault-style rifles and backed common sense gun reform. Walmart later said it was raising the minimum age for anyone buying guns or ammunition to 21 years.
No more assault rifles at one of America's most popular sports retailers. Following the school shooting in Parkland, Florida that left 17 dead, the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods announced the company was immediately ending all sales of assault-style rifles in its stores.
No chance you're going to reverse this?
Never.
The retailer will also no longer sell any gun to those under the age of 21, regardless of local laws, although it will still sell certain firearms. Following the announcement, the company said it was prepared for potential backlash.
We know that this isn't going to make everyone happy, but when we take a look at what those kids and the parents and the heroes in the school, what they did, and our view was if the kids can be brave enough to organize like this, we can be brave enough to take these out of here.
Last week, a number of other major companies, including Delta Airlines, MetLife Insurance, and Hertz Rental Car, said they would be ending their previous ties to the National Rifle Association, though Dick's is the first to publicly cite the Parkland shooting as a direct factor in its decision-making. While Walmart stopped selling assault rifles in 2015, the retail giant avoided making the decision political, claiming it came as a result of decreased customer demand. Dick's, on the contrary, has taken a clear stance in the national gun debate, Although it still supports the right to bear arms, it's called on elected officials to pass laws that would raise the minimum age to purchase guns to 21 years. No more assault.
And so we pray that this particular law that is being enforced will help to reduce this gun crime and gun issues in the United States. You are still watching G News in Brief with me, Jeremiah, on Great Television. In our last but one news, Russia's Olympic membership is restored by IOC. Russia's Olympic membership has been restored by the International Olympic Committee, IOC, following its suspension from the Pyeongchang 2018. Russia was banned from February's games by the IOC over state-sponsored doping. Before Sunday's closing ceremony in South Korea, the IOC had banned would be lifted so long as there were no anti-doping violations. Before we take a leave of you on today's G News in Brief, the main headlines. Rwanda closes 700 unsafe, noisy, dad-poisoned child to please his wife. UK may run out of gas by Thursday. And major US retailers restrict gun sales. And Russia's Olympic membership is restored by the International Olympic Committee. Thank you for watching today's episode of G News in Brief. Thank you and have a wonderful and good, fruitful month. The first day of the month of March. Thank you for watching.